say, no limits. Give somebody else a high five and say, no more limits. Three things here. Three things I want to deal with. Three things I want to deal with quickly. Everybody say, the most. Say the most. Say the almost. Say the uttermost. The realm we live in two realms. We live in the realm of the supernatural, and we live in the realm of the natural. And we on this side of the world in Africa, looking at our circumstances, we need a new consciousness, a new awareness, and a new civilization. And I've been teaching for some time now about the importance of covenant and conditions of covenant, rights of covenant, privileges of covenant. And I've said that fasting and prayer has what it does. Fasting and prayer will deal with the promises. But when it comes to the covenant, it takes obedience. It takes acting on the demands of the covenant. Because if you just want to do it by just fasting and prayer without obeying and fulfilling the terms of the covenant, you realize that you will die broke, you die poor, yet you go into heaven. Now watch this. You realize that Isaac, the Bible said in the beginning, if you start reading from verse 1 of Genesis 26, you realize that the Bible said that the Lord was with Isaac. The Lord was with him. Now, even though the Lord was with him, it didn't change the situation or his present circumstances. Number one, realize that. Two, realize also that even though the Lord was with him, that did not give him a harvest. Did you hear me? The Lord being with him didn't change his circumstances and didn't give him a harvest. What gave him a harvest was the seed he sown. If he hadn't sown, there wouldn't have been a harvest of 100-fold. Now, that seed he released in farming changed his entire life. Is anybody hearing me? You find out that most people live in the realm of the most, the ordinary. The other day, Delilah said to Samson, what makes you so powerful? What makes you unbeatable? What makes you unstoppable? What makes you so fearful? What makes you the man that you are? And the Bible said, and Samson said to Delilah that I am a Nazarite from my mother's womb. And he said that razor have never touched my head before. And I've never drank a strong drink. But in the day that razor touches my head, I will be like any other man. That is the most. Like any other man. Talking like everybody else. Acting like everybody else. Being like everybody else. Thinking like everybody else. Feeling like everybody else. Living by the status quo. And talking like unbelievers. Living by what you feel. Living by what you see. Living by what you hear. Living in the realm of the natural like everybody else and not as a child of God. But when you live here tonight, you are graduating from the realm of the most to a higher realm. Are you hearing me, somebody? I am breaking you out of that realm of the most, the natural, like everybody else, to another realm and to another dimension. Somebody said, no more limits. Just work with me. I'm going somewhere. Then we have the level or the realm of the almost. The realm of the most or the level of the most is like a woman barren can't have kids, can't take in a seed, and struggles for many years and accept that she can't have kids. There is a limitation. There is an embargo and a restriction in that realm. You can't get pregnant. you can't have kids. The realm of the almost is the realm where Moses came into, where Moses saw the land of promise with his eyes. And God said, you are almost there. You can see it, but you will not enter. Almost there, but missed it. The realm of the almost, which a lot of people in church live in. You are either in the realm or the level of the most or the almost, where you carry the miracle. You carry the seed. You are pregnant with a child. You are pregnant with a dream. But one thing or the other, you either get discouraged, or you get offended, or you are impatient. Watch this. Like the king of Israel, the first king of Israel. Impatient caused him to miss the miracle. He waited for the prophet Samuel to come and perform the sacrifice. And Samuel delayed in coming, and he couldn't deal with delays. If you can't deal with delays, you may miss and miscarry. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And the Bible said, and as soon as he sacrificed, the king, as soon as he did something out of order, then came the prophet Samuel. As soon as he sacrificed, then came the prophet Samuel. And this is what Samuel said. Samuel said, he said, the Lord would have established your kingdom forever if you have just waited for me to come. This generation can't wait. There are young guys here, they can't wait. There are young brothers here, they can't wait. There are young sisters here, they can't wait. They want it right now. They want the fame. They want the honor. They want the breakthrough. You don't know the price I have paid to come this far. You may want to be on television, but you don't know how many years I fought and negotiated with President Rawlings and Totobi Kwachi and the others to open up television. Today, everybody's on television. You don't know the battle I fought for 5 years, and you don't know what happened in the day that President Rawlings' office called me and said, the president wants to meet you. And I went in there and met 3 top ministers sitting there, and the president said, I want you to convince me and these ministers why I must take the embargo of religious broadcasting in Ghana. And for 4 hours I spoke. When I finished, President Rawlings said, remove the embargo, let him on. The realm of the almost, where people get offended over everything, hurt over everything, carry the offense of others. I know we've honored some people, and others feel, why not me? I've been forgotten. You are not entitled to anything. Are you hearing me, somebody? It is not him that willeth, nor him that runneth, but God that showeth mercy. I will have mercy on whom I will. Jacob have I loved, and Esau have I hated. The realm of the almost there. There are people carrying great visions, and they will miscarry some way, somehow, because they lack the character, they lack the endurance, they lack staying power. So it limits the dream. And even though you've worked so hard and you pushed and you fought battles and you fasted and given and prayed, the Bible said, if you faint not, you shall reap. So there is a possibility of fainting. That's what the Bible says, if you faint not, you shall reap. Look at somebody and say, you cannot fail, you cannot fail, you cannot fail. Look at somebody and say, you cannot be discouraged, you cannot be offended. Look at someone and say, you cannot be hurt. You cannot be hurt. You cannot be hurt. You've come too far to be hurt. You have to purpose in your heart that you will not be hurt. Look at someone and say, I will not be hurt. Tell somebody, I cannot be hurt. I cannot be offended. There are so many of you seated here. You are not supposed to be sitting where you are sitting. The only reason why you are sitting where you are sitting is because of offense. You have miscarried. You've lost something. You've lost your step. You've lost a kairos moment because you are living in the realm of almost there. But by the time you leave this convention tonight, in the name of the Son of the living God, you are breaking out from almost there to the realm and the level. Are you hearing me, somebody? Of no limits. Say the realm of no limits. You see, that was the realm Isaac came into. He saw the realm of the most and the realm of almost there, where he got discouraged. He had the same challenge facing him that faces you and I. And I know that it is said that we are a third world country. The economy is bad. Everybody is complaining. I said to my staff the other day, if I hear anybody say there is no money, you are sacked. Because you are cursing the finances of the church. You can't say there is no money. And you businessmen and women, you got to be careful. And you pastors, be careful of the people around you who always tell you what you cannot do. We can't do it. We cannot do it. Before the convention, there are so many things I did that I was told I couldn't do it. And I ignored them. Are you hearing me, somebody? Because they wanted me to live in the realm of the natural. They wanted to bring me out of the realm of the supernatural to the realm of the natural, where I respond to what I feel, and I respond to what I hear, and I respond to what I see. But the Bible said we walk by faith and not by sight. Say amen. Isaac found himself in the realm of limitation. Famine confronted him, and he decided that in the midst of the famine, I will not eat my seeds. In the midst of the famine, I will prove the promises. I will prove the covenant. And the Bible said he sowed in famine. And as a result of sowing in famine, he broke all the limitations. He broke all the restrictions. He broke the realm of the most and the realm of the almost there, and he came into the realm of the uttermost, the realm of no limitation, the realm of no restriction. Are you hearing me, somebody? I dare you to break out from that realm of the most and the realm of the almost there, and come into the realm of the uttermost, where nothing limits you, where nothing restricts you, where nothing holds you down, where nothing keeps you down, where nothing sits on you, no matter the state of the economy or your circumstances. Pastors, I want you to look at me, pastors. When I came here to this place 25 years ago, it was a desert. There's no building here. There's nothing here. The only thing that was here was the Bank of Ghana, warehouse, and spring place. There's nothing here. And when I moved the church here, we lost over 1,000 people to other churches in town because nobody would come here. But when I came here, every limitation and restriction that was in this geographical location was lifted and was removed. And human beings and people began to come in here. Do you know the population of the Springtex Road right now? It's over 500,000 people living on this Springtex Road. And you know why they came? Somebody prayed them here. You think they just came? No, they didn't just come. They came because I came. They came because blessed people are here. Are you hearing me, somebody? They came because we raised up an altar in this place, and everybody now wants to come here. I meet people in America, Europe, everywhere, and everyone tells me they have a house on the Springtex Road. They bought a land on the Springtex Road. They have a house on the Springtex Road. They bought a land on the Springtex Road. This is becoming the most expensive, sophisticated area in our city. And it's because we came here. I want you to look at me, somebody. The American ambassador, like I said the other day, you pastors, you got to listen to me, because you need a new civilization. You got to go back with a new mindset. Got to go back with a new mindset. I told you that Oyedepo's blessing didn't just come because he was a good teacher. I saw how his blessing came. Every year, David Oyedepo will sign a check to pay for the entire budget of Pape's University, the staff, the salary of the staff, the lecturers, security, for the entire year. He pays everything and will give Papa a check for the year. Papa will lift it up and will make some serious declarations. I did not understand it until a few years after. I began to see things happening. And I'll go with my little Ghanaian offering. Pastors, are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? Now you got to hear me, pastors, because some of you, as long as you believe that there is no money and you have no money and you come here. The other day I told you, pastors, you've been eating my food since you came here. I've given you free lunch and free dinners. You didn't bring any offering to me. You didn't bring me any seed. You came with empty hands because you are broke, because you don't have money. It's a mentality. Your problem is not that you don't have money. The thing is in your head and it's in your mind. You see your people broke, you see your members broke, and as long as you see your people broke and your members broke, they will always remain broke. The American, hear me, the American ambassador, the Chinese ambassador, the British ambassador are very comfortable in Ghana. They don't depend on the economy of Ghana. Our situation don't affect them. Why? Because their country and their nation is under obligation to take care of them, to provide for them. We are citizens of heaven. We are the ambassadors of Christ. Our citizenship is of heaven. Paul said, my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches in the country where you live. Hello? According to his riches of the tribe you come from. According to his riches of the color of your skin, but according to his riches in what? In glory. So the eternal God is your source and my source. Now if America knows how to provide for his ambassador and knows how to give good gifts, how much more our heavenly Father which is in heaven? You know what the problem is? The problem is our thinking. We think wrong. We think it cannot happen. There is no money. I don't buy that language in this church. My finance people will tell you, whatever I decide to do, I do it. I don't think about money. First of all, I got to feel the inspiration. When I get the inspiration, wherever money is, I will subpoena you. Are you hearing me, somebody? Now watch this. You think all these things I did, honoring the people I honored, all those fathers who came here, I just didn't give them presents. I gave them envelopes of some serious money. I blessed them with some serious money from my own pocket, not from the church. Are you hearing me, somebody? And you think I just did it for doing it sake? You are joking. I'm buying something. I'm fulfilling conditions of the covenant. Bishop was talking about Abraham gave Isaac something. Isaac also gave Jacob something. And when Jacob was living, he didn't have gold, he didn't have diamonds, he didn't have money, he didn't have cattle, he didn't have silver. All he left with was the blessing of a father after he had fulfilled the conditions of the covenant by giving his father venison, such as he loves. So when you come to your father, you don't just bring anything. You got to know who your father is. When I went to Asante Hene, Nana is here with me, Pastor Stan. We went to Kumasi and he said, you have to go visit Asante Hene. He's been told you are in town and you can't leave town without visiting him. He's been asking of you. So I said, okay, we got to go. And then he said to me, you can't go before Asante Hene empty-handed. And I said, hey, I'm just coming to greet you too. I have to bring offering. And then you know what he said? He said, and you can't also present just anything. There are requirements. And this is the minimum you can give. Say, hey. Somebody say levels. 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 Are you hearing me, somebody? So I have to immediately borrow money because I didn't carry money with me. I have to immediately borrow money, make some calls, and we took money to fulfill the requirements. So it's not everything that is acceptable. Now watch this. Jacob left with a staff, but with the blessing of a father. He came back with 2 portions. He came back blessed. And watch this. Who took the gold? Because Isaac had gold, he had silver, he had lands, he had cattle and storehouses. All that went to Esau, and the man that had the blessing, which was not physical, was Jacob. And he came back more blessed than the man that had the gold, than the man that had the silver, than the man that had the natural goods and the natural blessings. Is anybody hearing me? Hear me, pastors? I'm not talking to congregants, I'm talking to you, pastors. You got to watch me. Because unless you renew your mind and you start speaking blessing over your people are always going to remain poor. And unless you yourself, as pastors, begin to tithe and begin to be heavy givers. The car I just gave to Bishop James, when they called me, they said, we need so much money right now. Almost $50,000. We need the money right now. I called the accountant. He said, Papa, we got to find a way, because I've told him, don't tell me we don't have money. I'll fire you. He said, we got to find a way. I said, no problem. So I called the bank. I said, I need so much money right now, within 2 hours. They didn't ask me from where. Immediately the money was released. Because I knew that if I honored him, do you hear what I said? I knew that if I honored him, I would fulfill a covenant before God. And if I fulfill that covenant, blessing and favor is going to come upon me. Are you hearing me, somebody? You think I just did it because I have money, or because the church is sitting on money? I want something that $50,000 can give me. You didn't hear what I said? What I want, the money for that car can afford it. You see how everybody was screaming when I spoke about it? It means that there were some of you were watching me. Wicked guy. Today, whether you like it or not, I'm released. Whether you like it or not, I'm loose. You don't hold anything against me anymore. I buy my freedom in the name of Jesus. Are you hearing me, somebody? Some of you don't understand spiritual principles. Pastors, you are an ambassador of the Most High God. Your car is CD. You have diplomatic status, divine immunity. It doesn't matter if Isaac sowed in that land where there was famine, and that same year he prospered and had 100-fold, and the man became great and very great and went forward and have storehouses and servants to the point where he became the envy of his circumstances. Stop telling me that there is no money where you are. Some of you, you don't even have famine where you are. I'm sending you back with the anointing of no limits, the anointing of walking in the miraculous, and God will meet every need of your life. Your church will grow supernaturally. You will have money to do everything you want to do. No limitation. I want you to look at me. Last year when you came, things were different, isn't it? This year is different, eh? Next year when you come, you'll see. You think you sing something, turn to somebody and say, you haven't seen anything yet. By the time you come here next year, you will stand in awe and you'll be flabbergasted. Are you hearing me, somebody? And watch me. I am not working with a budget. I am not working with a budget. I am operating by covenant privileges. I am working the covenants. Are you hearing me, somebody? If you know the amount of seed I have sown throughout this convention, it will blow your mind. My bank manager came to me the other day. He said, I want to find out if you are aware. I said, aware of what? He said, all your accounts are very low. And I said, there shall be a resurrection. There shall be what? I'm not going to agree with you. No. When the Bible said, when men are cast down, then shalt thou say, there is a lifting up. Is anybody hearing me? Say, there is a lifting up. I want you to live here, breaking out of the realm of the natural. Stop accepting what natural people accept. Stop talking like the others. Stop saying you are broke. Stop saying things are difficult. Stop saying there is no money in the system. If there is no money in the system, where is the money? There's no money in the system. Where's the money? Somebody has it. Whoever has it, let money change hands. Let money change hands. You got to learn how to speak to your situations. Let money what? Change hands. Let money leave some bank accounts into your bank account. Is anybody hearing me? Stop saying there is no business. When other businesses are going down, then shall your business be lifted up. You got to think different. You got to change the way you think. You got to understand that you are a child of the Most High God. Are you hearing me, somebody? That God has made provision for you before you were born. Say yes. Watch this. Let me say this before you sit down. Pastors. When Moses got to the Red Sea, he saw the crisis. He cried out. And God said, what do you have in your hand? He said, a rod. The answer to your situation is in your hands. Are you hearing me, somebody? And then when they got to Marah, the Bible said the people cried for water and they were thirsty. And when they went to the waters of Marah, it was bitter. And the Bible said there was a tree planted by the waters of Marah. And God said to Moses, catch a branch of the tree and cast it into the water. And the Bible said when he threw the branch of the tree into the waters of Marah, which was bitter, became sweet. So the solution to the bitter waters was right there by the river. Then the Bible said when Hagar cried because she had run out of water for her child, because the child was going to die, the Bible said an angel of the Lord cried from heaven and said, Hagar, what aileth thee? Weep not, for I have heard the cry of the child. God didn't hear the cry of Hagar, but he heard the cry of the child, because the mother had no covenant with God, but the father of the child had covenant with God. And so even though the mother cried, God heard the child because of the covenant between the child and the father. Now watch this. And the Bible said the Lord opened the eye of her mother, and she saw a well of water just where she was. The miracle you need, God made provision before you were born. The Bible said, Isaac said to Abraham, he said, for the stick and everything for the sacrifice is here, but where is the lamb? And Abraham said, Jehovah Jireh, the Lord shall provide for himself a lamb. And the Bible said he tied him up and placed him on the altar. Then the Bible said he took the knife and was ready to kill his son. And the voice of an angel of the Lord came from heaven and said, touch not the lad, for now I know that thou fearest God. And the Bible said, and Abraham lifted up his eyes, and behold, behind him was a ram tied up by the horn. Abraham was over 100 years at this time. The rams fight with their horns. So watch this. When he fulfilled all condition, God tied up the horn of the ram, and which stands to reason that when God tied up the horns of the ram means that God took the fight out of the blessing. And watch this. God said, I don't need your son. I've always and before time made provision. I send an angel to tie the ram there, the provision you need for the sacrifice. Let your son go, loose the ram, and sacrifice him in place of your son. I came to tell you, and you pastors hear me, every blessing you need, every miracle you need to fulfill the call of God upon your life, the provision is already where you are. Bishop, the provision to buy that property in London is right there in the church. It's there. The provision is there. It's not anywhere. Some of you who are looking at head office, you are looking here. Some of you pastors, I look at you and I watch you a lot. You come here, you look around, say, hey, Papa, I have to take some of the money, some of the money. There's no money you are taking. Take the blessing. Take what makes me able to do what I'm doing. Not the money. There's no money for your branch. So stop this whole thing where you are expecting money from me. It's not the money. I came here without money. I've never had a head office. I've never had a head office. My head office have always been heaven. There are people in your churches. There are people in your churches. If you fulfill the conditions of the covenant, God will prosper people. God will bless people and raise people in your church that will bless your church. Some will do it openly and some will do it secretly, quietly. But the provision you need is in your church. Stop thinking negative. Begin to bless your people. Begin to speak blessings upon them. Begin to speak life. Begin to speak prosperity. Begin to command favor. Begin to command them to break through. And you will begin to see money flow to meet every vision of that ministry. Stand on your feet, everybody.